Some stories take time, not because the people telling them are not ready, not because the audience is not waiting, but because the specific combination of creative control and commercial backing and personal reconciliation that a story requires takes however long it takes and cannot be rushed without destroying the thing that made the story worth telling in the first place. The Friday franchise has waited 14 years for this moment. And in April 2025, after a development journey that has involved more false starts, canceled productions, broken partnerships, and industry politics than any comedy sequel in Hollywood history, Ice Cube walked into a room at Warner Brothers' New Line Cinema and came out with a deal. Last Friday is officially in development. And based on everything confirmed since that deal was signed, it is going to be worth every year of the wait. Let us begin at the beginning, because you need the full context to understand why this particular announcement matters as much as it does. The original Friday was made in 1995 on a budget of $3.5 million and earned $28 million at the box office. Those numbers do not tell the real story. The real story is what Friday became in the cultural conversation over the following 3 decades. A comedy that captured a specific experience of Black American working-class life in South Central Los Angeles, with a precision and an authenticity that Hollywood comedies had never previously managed, and that generated a cultural impact so far beyond its theatrical run that it is now one of the most quoted and most referenced films in American comedy history. Next Friday in 2000, Friday After Next in 2002, and then nothing for 22 years while Ice Cube tried to complete the story he started and found that completing it was, for reasons financial, personal, and structural, the hardest creative problem he had ever faced. The central obstacle was Chris Tucker. And understanding the Chris Tucker situation is essential to understanding everything about why Last Friday took 14 years, and why the version that is now in development at Warner Brothers' New Line is different from every previous attempt. Tucker played Smokey, Craig's best friend, in the original Friday. He was the film's breakout performance. His energy, his timing, his specific comedic chemistry with Ice Cube as Craig was the reason the original film transcended its budget and became a cultural institution. And when Smokey did not appear in Next Friday or Friday After Next, Tucker declining to return, citing personal and religious reasons, the franchise lost something irreplaceable. Smokey's absence was not just a casting gap, it was a philosophical gap. The original Friday was about 2 specific people in a specific place on a specific day. Without both of them, the story was always incomplete.
Now here is the 2025 update that changes everything. The deal announced in April 2025 with Warner Brothers' New Line confirms Ice Cube producing and writing the screenplay alongside DJ Pooh, his co-writer from the original film, alongside Mike Epps, who has appeared in every Friday sequel, and Aaron McGruder, the Boondocks creator, whose satirical comedic instincts add a completely fresh creative sensibility to the franchise's final chapter. And crucially, as of May 2026, Chris Tucker's involvement remains officially unconfirmed, but has never been formally ruled out. Ice Cube confirmed in a podcast appearance that he has spoken to Tucker about Last Friday. He did not say Tucker was in. He did not say Tucker was out. He said, "We will see." And those 3 words, from a man who has been trying to make this film for 14 years, and who knows exactly what Tucker's involvement would mean, commercially and artistically, are the most carefully chosen 3 words in any comedy sequel development conversation currently happening. The creative team assembled for Last Friday represents a genuine coming together of generational talent from the franchise's original era and the present cultural moment. Aaron McGruder, who spent 20 years making the Boondocks one of the most politically sharp animated series in American television history, brings an analytical intelligence to the material that previous sequels never had access to. The specific question of what Craig Jones and his world look like in 2025, what has changed in South Central, what has stayed the same, what the comedy of Black American life looks like, filtered through 30 years of social change, is exactly the kind of question McGruder was born to engage with. And the answer to that question is what Last Friday has that no previous sequel attempt could have had. Because 30 years of history is not a production obstacle. It is the material. Ice Cube himself has described Last Friday as the film that closes the circle, the story that brings everything that started on that South Central porch in 1995 to its proper conclusion. He has been careful about specifics. The screenplay is being kept tightly protected, but the emotional temperature of every interview and every public statement he has made about this film suggests someone who is not simply completing a franchise obligation, but finishing something personal. The Friday films are not just the most successful comedy series Ice Cube has been involved in. They are in many ways the most honest extended portrait of a specific American community that American popular cinema has produced in the last 30 years. Finishing that portrait with the care it deserves has been his creative priority since 2011, and it is finally, actually, happening. No release date, no confirmed director, no confirmed Chris Tucker, but a genuine Warner Brothers New Line deal. The original creative team reunited, Aaron McGruder adding intellectual firepower, and the cultural moment that makes Last Friday more timely than it would have been at any previous point in its 14-year development history. The story started on a Friday. It will end on a Friday. And based on everything coming out of the creative conversations around this project, when that Friday finally arrives, it will have been worth every single year of the wait.